Hello, Coolers, and welcome back to Viva Barca. Welcome to the home of everything Barcelona, where we are going to be discussing on the latest stories. We start with Hector Bellerin, as the Barcelona right back is expected to leave Barcelona on a free transfer when his contract comes to an end at the end of the season. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Then secondly, talking about Marcos Alonso, as it has been reported that Barcelona coaches have requested the renewal of the versatile defender. We are also going to be discussing on that. So guys, before we get right into it in much detail, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. If you are just coming across the channel for the very first time, you are very welcome. Consider liking the video and please watch right up to the very end. Barcelona were able to sign a host of players during the summer transfer window, but while the likes of Robert Lewandowski and Marcos Alonso have started the season well, there are others who have endured a difficult start. Among them is Hector Bellerin. The former Arsenal defender had joined the club on a free transfer in what seemed like an excellent deal at the time, given his experience and pedigree at the highest level of football. However, 3 months into the new season, Bellerin has once again suffered from unfortunate injuries, with a knock during the international break, keeping him out on the sidelines for a few weeks. The Spaniard ended up missing a slew of key fixtures during that phase, including the defeat to Real Madrid. However, even with Bellerin now back from injury, the former Arsenal starlet has struggled to make an impression. The right back has featured in only one league match since returning from injury, and according to Spanish journalist Javi Miguel, there is a strong possibility the defender could be released on a free transfer in the upcoming January transfer window. An exit from Camp Nou after the turn of the year could mark a forgettable homecoming for Bellerin, whose current deal at the club expires at the end of the season. In the event of his departure, Barcelona are likely to hand a letter of freedom to Bellerin, who will be a free agent. He will be free to choose any club in January. One would expect him to bat for a return to Real Betis, where he was quite successful last season, before eventually returning to Arsenal. As for Barcelona, they are likely to hunt for a new right-back in January transfer window. The option of Diogo Dalot of Manchester United has been explored lately, though the club would consider other options as well. Hector Bellerin have not quite lived up to the mark, since joining Barca in the summer transfer window. He came in on the transfer deadline day on a free transfer, and honestly speaking, we have not seen the very best from Bellerin. We understand the fact that Bellerin has been injured on about 2 occasions since joining the club. Even the few times, the opportunities that he gets, he does not really give a very good impression. And honestly speaking, Xavi is not that confident in him. Normally, Bellerin coming to Barca, he was not even Xavi's first choice or second choice. He was the third choice. So he came in because Joan Foyt of Villarreal was not available. Thomas Meunier of Dortmund was not also available. So that is why we had to go for the third choice, Bellerin. But I don't think so far what we have seen from Hector Bellerin is what Xavi was expecting to see. He has not quite lived up to the mark. Even in the last game, he was available. Throughout the game, he was on the bench. Xavi did not opt to start him. Right now, he's fit to play games, but he has not been playing some games. So Barcelona are actively looking for right backs. And from the reports that I've been getting lately, they will make use of that January transfer window to get at least one new right back. And maybe the summer they can bring another right back. We know that, Hector Bellerin, as I just said, he's not fancied by the manager. Sergio Roberto as well sees his contract expires at the end of this season, and everybody expects Sergio Roberto to leave the club at the end of the season when his contract comes to an end. So it makes it now, it is imperative for Barcelona to, look for at least two right backs by the summer transfer window. If Hector Bellerin and Sergio Roberto will be out of the club next season, of course, it is highly expected that those two players won't be available next season, which makes it more important for Barca to go for right backs. Of course, we heard our sporting director Matteo Alemani some few weeks talking about right backs and talking about a defensive midfielder. Those are the two top priorities now for Barcelona. Of course, with Sergio Busquets also set to leave once his contract comes to an end, we expect Barcelona to look for a new DM. It's just Barca's decision, not like personally. I'm not for the opinion of hunting for a new DM straight away. We have Franchisi who can play a DM. We have Frankie De Jong who is also a DM, and I don't know what the plans of Barca really is, but they want to look for a DM replacement as Busquets leaves the club. But for right backs, definitely that's the strongest position that Barca want to go for. That is one of the top priorities on Barca's transfer wish list, which we expect Barcelona to at least go for one right back in the in the winter transfer window. The last game we saw, but Alejandro Balde playing right back, of course, which he's not a right back. Naturally, he's a left back, but luckily enough, he is versatile. So Javi opted to rest Bellerin and put Balde. That tells you a lot that we don't have right backs that we can rely on. Then on to the next story of discussion. Marcos Alonso was one of the two players to join Barcelona on the transfer deadline day this summer. The experienced fullback came from Chelsea to add more depth to the club's left-back unit, which at the time had Jordi Alba as the only recognized option. However, 3 months into the new season, the situation has changed drastically. Youngster Alejandro Balde has become the club's main left-back after making a major breakthrough in the first team, whereas Alba is being slowly phased out of Xavi's plans. There are even talks of Barcelona potentially offloading the veteran defender in the upcoming January transfer window. With that in mind, there is a strong belief inside the Barcelona camp that the contract of Marcos Alonso should be extended. The feeling has been strongly approved by the coaching staff, who believe the defender has done enough to earn a new deal, according to Javi Miguel. Alonso's current deal at Spotify Camp Nou expires at the end of the season, but the club want to keep him for a longer period due to his versatility and experience, which have proven to be quite useful for Xavi. Although the former Chelsea star is here to become Barca's first choice option at left back, Alonso's ability to play at centre back has been useful, especially in the midst of an injury crisis that have sent Andres Christensen, Jules Koundé and Ronald Araujo in the sidelines earlier in the season. Alonso's presence on the side could become even more useful following the recent retirement of Gerard Piqué. The veteran centre-back has played his final game for the club, leaving Xavi with four recognized central defensive options at his disposal, among which Araujo is already sidelined. Therefore, it will not come as a surprise to see Alonso being juxtaposed between the centre-back and left-back role throughout the remainder of the season. And with that in mind, the club could soon come up with a well-deserved contract extension for the Spaniard. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.